we got us a new video by Not Fair. This is why Doofenshmirtz is better than every other cartoon dad. Every other cartoon dad, I don't know about every other, but he is a great dad.
Fox hops over the log, the rabbit crawls under the log. Okay, got it. Now to send my daughter to the movies.
Most people know Heinz Doofenshmirtz as that lab-coated wearing weirdo who usually gets his ass handed to him by a platypus. But once you stop looking at him as a villain and start looking at him as a father, you will discover a completely different version of Doofenshmirtz.
He's a great dad
that changes the way you see him. This man survived a childhood that would honestly f anyone up. But Heinz, he actually dealt with his past trauma, properly raised a daughter, and even changed the trajectory of his entire life because of it.
It all began on the day of my actual birth. Both of my parents failed to show up.
If we're being honest,
damn, I forgot that happened to him. Yo, how both your parents failed to show up to your birth? That's insane. I forgot that shit happened to him.
Doof had no right turning out as a functioning member of society, let alone a good father. Because, bloody hell, this man's backstory reads less like a cartoon and more like a checklist of how to mentally break
They put that boy in a dress. I forgot.
He was born in Gimmelstump, and the very first thing that you need to know is that neither of his parents showed up to his own birth. Which, and I cannot stress this enough, takes a level of dedication to not giving a shit that's honestly a little bit impressive.
Yo, that's an insane... Bro, you wasn't even at the hospital after, like, you said, fuck if I die, fuck bleeding out, fuck all that, fuck medical attention. Take this nigga I just popped out my Huda Hatter and I'm gonna go. I'll deal with the rest of this shit at home. Like, do you understand how insane that is?
And it only gets worse from here. His father forced him to stand in the garden pretending to be a lawn gnome. His only friend was a balloon that he eventually lost on gnome duty. He was disowned and raised by a pack of ocelots. He was replaced by a dog his father named Only Son. He had to throw...
Yo! Nah, I ain't gonna lie. You gotta let him take over the tri-state area at least once, bro. Real shit. Nah, he deserves that. He deserves that. No. He deserves that. He at least once. At least once. On a fucking dog. A dog. You gotta let him take over the tri-state area at least once for like 20 minutes or something.
His own birthday parties alone. And wasn't even allowed to touch his own bloody cake. His younger brother was the family's favourite, and Heinz couldn't catch a break before life had even properly started for him. You'd think with a childhood that fucked up, he'd be a proper menace, wanting nothing but destruction of the entire world. And yeah, he does want to take over the tri-state area, but his evil schemes are just a result of his shite childhood. We actually get a look at what a truly evil Doofenshmirtz looks like in the Across the Second Dimension movie.
Oh, I remember that.
That version of Doof had a perfectly fine childhood, yet he became a terrifying...
Bro, that's actually insane. He became a worse version of himself because his childhood was okay.
Dictator who enslaved his entire city. And all because he lost a toy train.
That's your emotionally scarring backstory? That's your great tragedy? Dude, I was raised by ocelots.
He said, nigga, this is why you doing this? Nigga, my shit, like, you, bro, it don't even compare. Nigga said, that's it? Bro, fuck, bro, switch, bro. Pass the fucking controller if you're not gonna play, nigga. This not... Bro, my shit 10 times worse. Fuck is you talking about?
Disowned by my parents and raised by Central American wildcats. And you're telling me you lost a toy train. That's all. That's all you got, really.
Alternate Doof could have lost 1 million toy trains and still wouldn't compare to the absolute hell the original Doof went through.
Literally.
One train was enough to take him off the rails. While our Doof has endured things that would make most therapists quit their profession on the spot. And honestly, you've got to give the man some credit. The man has been through the absolute ringer, and he refused to let it define him. For a bloke who had every reason to be a complete nightmare, the fact he's even remotely kind says everything about his character. In the world of Heinz...
He's not that evil. For real. Like, and that's so insane to say, like, you have me sympathizing with an evil... Do you know how evil your parents have to be to make me sympathize with a nigga who wants to take over the tri-state area? On God, he's just misunderstood. You like, you know what? His parents are worse. And he's a good dad. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, my dog ain't deserve that, bruh. He ain't deserve that, bruh.
Favoritism was always the name of the game. First, he was sidelined for a dog, and then came Roger. Roger was the
I forgot his brother's the mayor!
golden child who could do no wrong. He won their mother's love through kickball, of all things, while Hines was left in the dirt. Fast forward a few decades, and it's clear that Hines hasn't let it go. Roger is the mayor of Danville, and Hines spends his time trying to conquer the city, or building some mental innator to ruin Roger's reputation. Usually, Perry the Platypus shows up to stop him before things get too out of hand. That kind of resentment usually rots a person from the inside out. It makes them bitter, but Doofenshmirtz never puts that pressure on his daughter, Vanessa. He doesn't.
Let him do it. That's what I'm telling you. Like, let him take over the tri-state area for a couple days, bro. Like, no, real shit. Like, somebody got to sit the mayor down. Like, all right, nigga, like, let him have this for a couple days, bro. You know what y'all childhood was like. Don't even be like that, bro. You know you was a favorite. You know they made him fucking get raised by ocelots. You understand that. Give him a couple days.
Try to live through her or turn her into a weapon to settle a grudge that's been festering for 30 years. He realizes that his own...
Let's be honest though. I think if I'm not mistaken, Doofenshmirtz hit some fine shit. Didn't we? I feel like we saw Vanessa's mom once. She was some fine shit. It was multiple times. I can't remember all the episodes, but she was tough. Hey, my nigga really like that, man. Stop playing with Big Doof. Stop playing with Big Doof, bruh. Come on now. That nigga hit some fine shit, bro.
Own trauma is his own baggage to deal with. Not only that, he refuses to let that toxic family dynamic poison her life. That is a level of emotional maturity that most normal parents haven't even thought about. Speaking of parents, there's this common idea that the way you are parented is the way that you'll parent your own kids. Cycles of neglect and emotional unavailability pass down like a shitty family heirloom. But Doofenshmirtz decided to break that cycle.
Bro,
he grew up in a house.
He loved Vanessa so much, bro.
Where love just didn't exist. His parents used him as garden furniture and couldn't be asked to be present for his birth. He had every excuse to be a distant, cold father. Instead, he does everything in his power to support Vanessa. Is he perfect at it? No, of course he's not. But, I mean, literally no one is. Look at her birthdays. This is a man who spent his childhood as a lawn gnome. Yet he tries his hardest to throw her a proper bash every single year. Aww. He might get the theme wrong or make it incredibly embarrassing, but he's actually trying. In the episode, Dude, We're Getting the Band Back Together, it's Vanessa's Sweet 16. Doofenshmirtz puts his rivalry with Perry on hold and asks for help setting up a...
Oh my God. Fuck that. Hey, Perry, I ain't doing nothing today. You know, nothing evil. I'm just trying to set up for my daughter's birthday. You want to help? Like, what? This nigga kick my ass all the time. I don't want to squabble today. I want to get this done for my daughter. You can actually help me. You know what I'm saying? We can resume this another time. Father of the fucking year.
Party. The vibe is aggressively aimed at a 7-year-old because he's a bit out of touch. But his heart's in it. Aww. Even Perry can see that this is a bloke who loves his kid. But it does end with Perry getting strapped to a giant firecracker. And by some miracle of chaos and fireworks and a running battle that completely wrecks the venue, the place ends up as a gothic wreck. One that her friends absolutely love. And Vanessa thanks him for getting one birthday right for her. Even when she expressed how she didn't enjoy the kind of parties he's been throwing for her. Doof literally never went on
worked out
about how kids these days have it easier. Or bring up the back in my day talk.
She doesn't like the party. I can't believe I failed again.
Oh.
Well, at least I can watch you explode.
Then there's the Finding Mary MacGuffin episode, where Vanessa was 7. She wanted a Mary MacGuffin doll. Doof spent the next 10 years relentlessly searching for that discontinued toy, long after Vanessa had forgotten about it. When he finally finds one at a yard sale, he doesn't hesitate for a second. He drives straight to his ex-wife's house and presents it to her. To him, that was
I ain't gonna lie. Yo, fucking W dad. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't gonna lie, he might be the best cartoon dad. I ain't gonna lie, he really might. Now that we breaking it down, he really might be the best cartoon dad. Holy shit.
The most important thing he had to do all year. In the episode Skiddly Whiffers, he shows that he can actually respect boundaries too. Vanessa wants to go camping with her friends like a normal teenager, and her dad tags along, disguised as a nature survival expert, and proceeds to inspect every inch of the camp for potential hazards. Once again, he asks Perry for help, but Vanessa figures out what he's doing and tells him to back off. Even he realizes
even yells at Perry too. That shit was funny.
he's overstepping and stops.
But Vanessa, what if there were a blizzard or an earthquake and
Bro,
you with no one to
how
take
Perry get in trouble?
care of you? Not even kindly ocelots like I had.
Dad,
I could be at that campsite right over.
go home.
Okay, Pumpkin. Stay
Aw.
safe.
Later,
Aw.
Vanessa and her friends are approached by a swarm of bees. So Doof covers himself in honey, gets the bees' attention, and
Man, fuck out of here. W dad. No, fuck out of here. No, fuck out of here. W fucking dad. He's cooking. He's cooking. And when you start putting it like it's all of this is like separated over a time. But like when you start to compress that shit and you see like everything he actually did, this nigga's a great fucking father. Holy shit.
dives into a lake. Like, which cartoon father would be willing to sacrifice himself like that? Can you imagine Peter Griffin doing that?
Absolutely not.
Peter would probably throw more bees at his kids just for
Literally.
a laugh.
Is this about Meg's cervical cancer?
What?
you always fall for that.
Anyways, a lot of the cartoon dad tropes usually follow
Best dad out of here. Go. Greg? I'm going Bob, then Greg. Bob, Greg, Stan, Homer.
a 9-to-5 blue-collar worker who at some point in their life struggles to make some time for their children. But unlike that, Doofenshmirtz is never too busy with an innator or some other evil plan to spend time with his
Nah, real
daughter.
shit.
And when they do spend time together, he wants every moment to be a learning experience for her. He even goes as far as referring his whole evil scientist gig as a family business. Summer Belongs to You is a perfect example. He takes her on a father-daughter trip to Tokyo, which happened to be the location of the annual Good Guy convention. Of course, he also kidnapped Major Monogram, which is obviously illegal, and planned to drop a giant water balloon on the convention, which upsets Vanessa.
Bro, like, what is this plan? What is this plan, bro?
Which is fair. I mean, vacations are supposed to be times not to pay attention to work. When Perry arrives, Doof even considered going ahead with his plan on the spot so he could get back to spending time with his daughter.
Vanessa, wait! You have all the traveler's checks.
Traveler's checks? Really?
Did I say traveler's? No, I do want to spend time with... Look. I'll drop the water balloon right now and we'll get the...
For someone who's a villain, you'd
He
think
said, I'll just get it over with. I won't explain. You know what I'm saying? I won't explain what's going on. I'll just do it for real. Just
he'd
real
want
quick.
to go with his plan as slow and as dramatic as possible, but he was more than willing to just get it over with, just so he could get back to spending time with his kid. But of course, things go wrong, and Vanessa ends up accidentally joining Phineas and Ferb's around the world trip. The moment Doof realizes she's missing, he immediately abandons his evil plans and teams up with Major Monogram and Perry to find her. So, they travel halfway across the planet and eventually find her in Paris. However, Doof gets arrested by the end of it, and we see how much she cares about him too. If Vanessa didn't really care, she'd have let the OWCA take her father away. But no, she pulls out a weapon, or rather a hairdryer that she made them believe is a weapon, and takes off with her father in Perry's hovercar. He's never been prouder of anything in his entire life.
Oh my God got tears of joy.
Little evil.
Okay, Dad. Maybe I'm a little evil.
I knew it. It's okay. I'm not gonna cry.
Dad.
At some point, his ex-wife Charlene always said
Oh yeah.
that no one can be truly evil. And that fits Hines perfectly. When it comes to his evil plans, some would say they're terrible, like spectacularly rubbish. But not just in the sense that they fail every single time, but in the sense that
It just wasn't originally evil to begin with. Like if you was to do this right now, niggas wouldn't be upset.
just make no sense most of the time. Usually, his plans are along the lines of making all the milk in the tri-state area go bad, or reversing the rotation of the Earth so he doesn't have to say good morning again. He wanted to make everyone have the same jingle stuck in their heads at one point. Yeah, this actually happened. Even when he's trying to be a villain, he can't help being a decent person. In Spa Day, he takes in a cute kitten he finds outside of his building and names it Mr. Fluffy Pants. The kitten wreaks absolute havoc with all of his equipment and leads him to nearly falling off the building. But when the owner shows up, Doof gives the cat back because it's the right thing to do. He's pissed off about it, but I mean, he does it anyway.
Fuck.
Anyway.
He's low-key just pranking people? Now that you put it that way.
I've been looking all over for him.
I'm going to have to do the right thing here, aren't I?
Yeah.
Fine. Here you go.
On God, he better than me because I wasn't giving that up. What cat? Cat would have been under my shirt. My shirt would have been meowing. What cat? What cat, nigga? It must be a reward or something. What cat? Fuck you talking about? I bonded. It's over.
His relationship with his ex-wife Charlene is also worth a mention here. Let's be real for a second. A good number of cartoon families are married, and they're a complete train wreck. Heinz and Charlene are divorced, and they still have the most functional co-parenting dynamic on television. They split because they wanted different things in life, with the tipping point being a hand puppet Doof had. But despite this, the two of them communicate well.
Very well,
Co-parent
actually.
without visible hostility and manage to maintain something resembling a functioning relationship, even after the marriage ended. For a man with zero models of healthy adult relationships growing up, that is no small feat. There's no bitterness or using Vanessa as a pawn in a legal battle or the usual.
Literally, though. And that goes to show you, chat. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a cartoon, you're only a product of your environment for so long. Nigga, you can only blame how you grew up for so long, bro. This nigga Doofenshmirtz was left at the hospital with no parents. Became the greatest parent, the greatest co-parent ever. Locked the fuck in. You can only blame your environment so long, nigga.
Your mother is a nightmare.
Now, if he grew up in Chicago, nigga, he was raised by ocelots.
Talk. Instead, he takes his role as a father seriously and doesn't see Vanessa as a burden in any way. And he treats his ex with respect. He's someone who has every reason to be a bitter, lonely shell of a man.
Yep.
But instead, he's a supportive ex-husband and a devoted dad. It's honestly a refreshing change from the usual nagging wife or deadbeat dad tropes that we're used to. For the entire run of the show, Doofenshmirtz always had one goal, and that was to take over the tri-state area. It's the sole reason why he started his endeavour as a villain, and might well be in every single monologue he's ever given. And in the season 4 finale, Last Day of Summer, he finally achieves that. So Doof becomes too busy with work to talk with his daughter for the first time ever. But he eventually becomes the ruler of the tri-state area by becoming its tri-governor. After realising that such a position doesn't exist, Doof creates the tri-governorinator, along with the do-overinator, and makes himself one, which at the same time creates some rifts in time and space, and it becomes its own problem entirely. But anyway, he's finally victorious after an entire show's worth of trying. Then he finally talks with Vanessa, who reveals she got accepted into an internship at the OWCA. But the problem is, they won't take an intern who lives with one of their enemies, which meant she'd have to move in with her mum. That's pretty rough. So when she finally gets the chance to speak with her dad, she doesn't just tell him about the internship. She tells him the truth, that he's not evil because he wants to be evil. He's evil because he was raised in an environment where love and approval were completely absent. And somewhere along the way, he decided that being the villain of the story was better than being nobody at all. And in her words, he's basically just a nice guy pretending to be evil. So in the end, she tells him to turn over a new leaf.
You're basically a nice guy who's pretending to be evil. But it seems like it's all out of obligation to your backstories, not something that truly comes from your heart.
Despite everything he's been through, Doof only ever became a sort of bad guy. Again, look at the other version of him, who became a monster over a toy train, which is nothing compared to our Heinz, who gives up on his single life's goal, takes his daughter's advice, and tries saving the world instead. Of course, he's not the best at it, but the fact that he's willing to improve and become
for his daughter, you know what I'm saying?
A better man speaks volumes. To be honest, Heinz had every reason to be a monster, but he chose to be a father, using his trauma as a guide for what not to do. He was willing to learn, to listen, and to be the best man he could ever be when it came to Vanessa. A past like this would break most people, but Doof is just one of those few examples where he actually became stronger thanks to the horrible past that he's been through. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the surprisingly wholesome heart of an evil scientist, hit that like button. If you
W video, man. I fuck with this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out the boy Big Doof, man. W Doof, man. That nigga Doof is really him. Like, Doofish really be doofing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Doof really doof. You know what I'm saying? Big D, Big D. You know what I'm saying? W video, though. Shout out to, Not Fair. I'll try to check some more of your stuff out. You know what I'm saying? That was a great video. Like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'll catch y'all in the next one, man.